Hello, everyone, and thanks everyone for joining today's session. So I'm Alec Wilson, and I'm a Partnership Development Manager at Microsoft, and I've been here for about 3 years now. I'm super excited to welcome you to today's session in collaboration with our friends at WeTransact. Today, we'll be exploring how Microsoft Cloud Marketplace can help you build a strong indirect sales channel through Microsoft Services partner ecosystem of around about 90,000 plus cloud solution providers. We've got a fairly busy panel, as you can see from all the faces on the screen, and lots to feature in today's session. But we'll first welcome Darren Sharp, Commercial Marketplace Lead at Microsoft, to the session. We've also got Juan, who's the Chief Revenue Officer at WeTransact, Yuval, who's the VP of Global Partnerships and Alliances at 2B Cloud, Jared Smith, who's the Senior Director for Vendor and Acquisition at Pax8, and then last but not least, we've also got Simon Berner, who is the Managing Director at Squadra. As you can tell, busy session, but in the agenda, we'll touch on a few main key points. Understanding the Microsoft Marketplace as a platform for modern partnering, and you'll hear a lot today without stealing Darren's thunder around multi-party private offer. That's now in preview. Secondly, we'll also explore Microsoft Resellers and the benefits of indirect selling. And then finally, we'll identify some common partnership mistakes and best practices for you to take away from the session. Before we get started, in the top right of your screen, somewhere up there, there'll be a Q&A button. Please do ask some questions throughout the session, and we'll get to them at the end of the session. But we'll be monitoring throughout as well for some answers to give you back. But with that, I'll get the session started, and I'll pass the baton over to Darren Sharp to kick us off.
Thanks so much, Alaric, and WeTransact team, and the rest of the partners are with us on today's call. My name's Darren. I'm in the Microsoft UK GPS ISV team, and I'm responsible for our services partners that are using Azure Marketplace and our partner processes as a mechanism of transformation. So hopefully I can bring that to life to you today to kick the call off. We're going to start with just some background as to where this comes from, why this is important, why partners and a cloud marketplace platform are really important, particularly within the Microsoft ecosystem. So we're just going to dial back a minute and look at some of the dynamics that we see as the reasons why this is super important and a real opportunity for everybody on the call today. So if you were to search for enterprise buying process or enterprise software procurement process, this is the classic image that Google will present you with, demonstrating the complexity of buying processes within most of our enterprises. Whether you subscribe to this or not in its entirety, I think we can pretty much agree there's a lot of complexity out there. And with an ever-growing world of applications, hardware, cloud services, that's getting more complicated. There's some other dynamics at play as well in terms of how our joint customers are buying. If you read the procurement press, they'll tell you that 60% of enterprise buying decisions over the next 2 years will be made by a millennial. Now, why is that generational shift important? Well, it's because, as my son says to me, Dad, you had an analog upbringing and I had a digital upbringing. Bless him, in his late teens. That means really that generational shift, that millennial persona that's now in those buying roles, they're used to a digital discovery experience. They're probably going through 15 to 20 points of information gathering before they even speak to a salesperson. So that discovery, find, try, test, deploy phases very much happening before we as sellers get a chance to have that initial contact. It means we need to change the way as a community, both you, if you're an ISV or a channel partner, change the way we're going to market to these particular organizations. And if you look at this diagram, that blue line through the middle there, what cloud marketplaces and partners together should be able to do is help us all get to the customer much earlier on in this decision-making cycle. And I'm going to explain to you why in just a moment. This is really super important. Customers tell us all the time that they want to buy a 95% best fit solution and customize the edge. It's very much down to wanting to get value out of the product portfolio much earlier on in the buying cycle. We're seeing this increasingly, that customers want to close the consumption gap. If you've ever read a great book called Consumption Economics, it talks about the difference in features in a product that are actually in the base product versus what you can actually use. For me, that's Microsoft Excel and its 1,600 features, and the fact I can probably use about 6. Thank the Lord for Copilot. But the point is, it's getting value early on in that sales cycle. Now, you can see here we're showing some stats for some of the analysts top right, and I'll let you read the points as to that buy versus build approach to yourselves. But those stats top right were part of a survey some probably 2-3 years back, asking cloud marketplace buyers as to how what they saw the importance of these platforms were. You can see that 48% of those buyers saw draw down on their MACC as a top priority. But we've had these platforms for a long time now. You can see that accelerating time to value, consolidating IT spend, so those operational efficiencies are almost just as important as retiring those cloud commits now as we go through this generational change in customers looking to modernize their application portfolio. It's also down to managing this balance of agility and innovation versus governance and guardrails. And we at Microsoft and our partners, the aim is to help customers holistically use Azure Marketplace, the cloud marketplace platform, as a mechanism to deliver some of those guardrails. If you look at the average, 4 years ago, Xylo stated a survey that the average enterprise had 600 SaaS apps. But interestingly, within that survey, 70% of that was bought in a line of business. Now that's leading to what the analysts are calling SaaS sprawl. What a horrible phrase. Essentially means that a line of business buyer buying a particular application and another buyer in a different part of the business buying something else, but over licensing that. That's leading to wastage. What we can do with these cloud marketplace platforms is put these private marketplaces over the top of that. It's a free function of the platform, and services partners are building with this. But that private marketplace function allows a simple workflow around who's using what. So if we're holistically encouraging the use of Azure Marketplace in these platforms, this is helping that governance approach and bringing the procurement persona really into the buying within their line of business. So here's those value statements in some simple pillars. Column 2 here, you'll be aware that, buying through the Azure Marketplace, we can decrement that Microsoft Azure consumption commitment by 100% of the software spend value through the platform. And that's absolutely market leading from the hyperscaler marketplaces. As you saw from those stats a moment ago, what sits either side of this is now just as important to those software buying personas or those line of business personas. It's really about how we can deliver procurement transformation. It's how we can accelerate time to value. And a lot of this is going through that discovery phase when we consider that many of the digital native software companies are building cloud marketplace first. And they're looking to acquire channels now, particularly within the Microsoft ecosystem, to help with those customer adjacencies and the management of this world. And here it is in a total economic impact survey. We'll drop the link into chat to this shortly. I'll ask Alaric to do it in a second for us. But this TEI gives you a real time and motion study as to, Forrester's analysis of how customers are really getting best value out of the commercial marketplace. The summary of this survey was that the customers who went through this time and motion study received 587% return on investment and a payback within 6 months, which is an incredible number. But I'd encourage you to go and absorb this paper, to see how you can use this platform within your own worlds. But look, here's the headlines from my section. What I want you to take away from today is that go-to-market for SaaS is becoming ecosystem driven rather than sales driven. And what do I mean by that? Well, customers want an ecosystem of both product and partners that can interoperate for the best customer outcome. And that's really important as we help these customers go on this buying journey, this journey to modernization of their application stack. And this is absolutely a services partner play, as the services partner is the trusted advisor, the pro-serve deliverer, and the cost optimizer for those customers going through this process. It's the platform for modern partnering. It's partner first, but Azure Marketplace delivered. And look, you'll be aware that you can deliver direct private offers through the marketplace to customers, but actually 2 of the motions you're going to hear from on both of these today from the team on this call. The CSP private offer process, delivering that real scale into SMB and SMC markets from our great partners like PAX8, and the multi-party private offer process I'm going to touch upon in a second. 2 of our private offer motions are absolutely partner-led. And to be clear, I'm going to touch on MPO, multi-party private offer, just for a second. This is what's in preview in the UK and I as we speak. This allows a services partner to be the agent within the private offer flow of the transaction. And again, it's 100% MACC decrementable. And without going into too much of the financial flow of the diagram, just to be super clear here, this comes off the back of a transactable solution. You as an ISV will have to have a transactable solution, which we know, we Transact are fantastic at enabling for you. A transactable automated solution can then be electronically authorized via a services partner and then delivered into a customer. The customer will push that button and be invoiced by Microsoft in the case of direct EAs or direct Microsoft agreements. And if we just think about that for a second, that's what we mean by procurement transformation. A customer being able to get a customized end user license agreement, financial terms from a partner that they trust from an automated solution that's SaaS, VMs or containers. And effectively, once we all get good at this process, this can happen in minutes. So it's a super transformational process. And be aware, lots of value for the channels in this, whether a channel partner is, working with very traditional vendors that are on the journey to elasticity and a different value profile and deliver more elastically, maybe with SaaS, or whether they're a digital native, there's lots of value here for the whole partner community in terms of extending those sellers. And there's no bigger ecosystem than the Microsoft ecosystem. Many of the vendors in our world are building with Teams, Dynamics, the Office suite of applications. This Microsoft partner ecosystem is huge and capable and has very big teams to be able to support you on this journey. And we're already seeing some great leadership from some of the partners in the UK that are really demonstrating the real customer value, how that they can deliver this new modern partnering approach with Azure Marketplace as the mechanism of delivering that elasticity. So it's really driving some transformational change into our joint customers, regardless of whether customers have MACC or not. And I guess finally, just to give us some comfort as to what our partners are going through. This is part of our Azure Marketplace practice builder framework. It's just one section of it. This is the channel partner version of that. Just calling out here, I appreciate it's a very complicated slide to have on a PowerPoint. I apologize. But just calling out, this is the enablement section of that practice builder. This really is about building different practices within our channel partners. They have cloud marketplace leads, cloud marketplace ISV management. They are actively assessing how they go to market with both their existing partners and their new digital native partners. And this framework is how Microsoft is working with those partners to deliver that transformation. So hopefully that's given me some insight into some market dynamics and how important this is to partners. It gives me great pleasure to pass over to Jared from the PAX8 team to take you through the PAX8 proposition.
Thank you, Darren. I appreciate that. Great to meet you all. Thank you for the time today. So yeah, it's Jared Smith with PAX8, Senior Director of Vendor Strategy and Acquisition. We have been working with the folks at We Transact for quite some time, as well as the folks at Microsoft for several years as an indirect provider. And a little bit of backstory, a little bit about PAX8, right? Our mission is to be the world's favorite marketplace for technology professionals to buy cloud products. We were founded in 2012, really with a fairly simple mission to, simplify the way organizations buy, sell, and manage cloud solutions. So some of the things that our platform provides is consolidated billing, extra layers of support, but really a lot of what we provide, again, is this billing engine. So we are currently supporting globally 17, I think we're up to 18 different currencies right now that we can not only process payments in, but bill our partners and theoretically their customers in those currencies as well. We are roughly 1,800 employees globally and growing rapidly. I think 14 official office locations across the globe. So just a little bit of background about PAX8, but most importantly, what makes PAX8 special is our ecosystem. And you heard Darren mention that earlier, this kind of concept of ecosystem-led growth. Pax8 currently works with 35,000 plus partners globally. The majority of these partners are managed service providers, outsourced IT providers, cloud solution providers, things of that nature. And they are, as Darren mentioned earlier, really these trusted advisors for the SMB customers. So the SMB customer looks to these partners to help them manage their technology, help them figure out which technology they should procure. So these technology providers are sitting really right at the center of the purchasing decision. We are adding about 550 new partners per month, currently working with over 100 vendors, Microsoft obviously being one of those. And we manage those partners, those 35,000 partners, manage a network of, this is actually a little out of date, we're just over 500,000 SMB customers managed worldwide. Just to give you a little bit of understanding of who those customers are, they are very much the SMB. So the average SMB customer is around 20 to 50 employees. So almost the S in SMB. Our average partner size is about 5 to 10 employees, each of them managing about 750 end users or 20 to 30 customers. We have some areas of expertise that our partners support and focus in on, which is construction, manufacturing, retail, hospitals, physicians, legal, and hospitality. And within our marketplace, we have categorized all of our products based on kind of the feature set and functionality that they provide. So, for ISVs, we can help get you not only in front of these partners, but in front of a huge network of SMB customers. A lot of the focus that we provide for ISVs is predominantly around the reduction of customer acquisition costs and the improvement of overall lifetime value. Through this partner network, right, partners take on traditionally tier 1 support, so that also reduce some of your support costs as well. So a little bit about Pax8, and I believe I am now handing it off to the guys at 2B Cloud.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Gerald, and hi everybody. My name is Yuval Shane. I am the VP Global Partnership and Alliances at 2B Cloud. I'm working 3 years at 2B Cloud, but before that I have a background of 16 years at Microsoft, like some of us here. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about 2B Cloud, about our services, and also to talk about our partnership with WeTransact. So 2B Cloud is a Microsoft partner, a direct CSP, and in some region we also reselling the MACC agreement and the enterprise agreement for digital natives. And when Microsoft saying digital native, they're using this name a lot. They mean startups and ISVs. So we are a partner of Microsoft that focus on startups and ISVs, and we help them with their Azure journey. So we have customers from early stage to big unicorns like Wix and Gong and On Backup, but also a lot of startups that just starting in Founders Hub and they are on credit. And these are our customer. We have more than 400 customers like that all over the world. We are based in the US. We have a headquarters in Europe and in the Middle East and Africa. And we also have the highest badge of Microsoft, like Microsoft Azure Expert MSP, 3 Azure Advanced Specialization, 4 Microsoft Azure designation. These competencies allow us to bring a lot of funding to our customer from the vendor. So, for example, the Azure Migration and Modernization Program is funding that we can bring for assessment, for migration, for modernization, for OpenAI innovation workshop, and any kind of things that you want to do with Azure. This is definitely something that we can go to the vendor, bring these funds, and do this project with you. And we have like a lot of examples for that. So when we're saying that we empower digital native in their Azure cloud journey, of course, it's always start from migrating or creating a new environment on Azure, or migrating from other cloud or on-prem to Azure, modernize existing environment, optimize existing environment. We actually develop a special tool for Azure. It's called SafePro, and it's an IP Coastal ready MACC eligible marketplace offer that can save a lot of money to our customers. We provide FinOps engineering, consulting engineering, 24/7 support on Azure, security assessment, and a very nice MSP platform to manage and optimize the cloud. Now, many of our customers during the time came to us and said, hey, your managed service are great, but we're also looking to do business with Microsoft because we're running on Azure, and Microsoft is very strong on the enterprise commercial and on the SMB and on the public sector. So that's a great value for us to go to the marketplace and start to co-sell with the Microsoft. And in the beginning, we try to help them to build the marketplace. We got some experience around that, but immediately when we met with WeTransact, we understood that we have a very high value together when we are coming together. So we provide the technical journey part and the managed service for the existing environment part, but WeTransact completing this with the go-to-market. And we decided to build our SafePro solution on Azure Marketplace together with WeTransact. The onboarding was 3 days. So in 3 days, we were on the marketplace. We became IP Coastal ready and MACC eligible. We received a very advanced payment platform, so we can combine metering together with the professional services and do a lot of things that are not that easy on the partner center of Microsoft, multi-currency, for example. And in addition, we got a go-to-market platform that enable us to resell through CSP resellers all over the world, or to find the right customers, or to navigate through the field. So we definitely find it very valuable for us. And of course, we are starting to work with our customer and offer that because it's completing our service and the entire Azure journey that the startups and ISVs needs. So we are very happy with this partnership, and I encourage all of you, if you want, to contact me later and see how we can help you. So thank you very much. And I think that after me, it's Simon, right?
Yes, it's me. Thank you, Yuval.
Great.
So let's move on my part. So I see everyone see the screen about Squadra. So we are a French partner for WeTransact. We have developed an unique approach to enhance the ISV experience through Marketplace, because for us, when we work with customers, Squadra, we are specialized in Azure solution, and we helping company to live their life cycle with Azure, and we focus on business because we know that your journey is about create business for your customer and create value. So we have created a comprehensive approach end to end. First step is to build. Most of you are already engaged with Azure, etc. So they have to go to the marketplace, sell with WeTransact, and we are specialized in help you to dedicated your technical requirement, technical question to us to help you to focus on your first steps to make business with the marketplace and focus on your partnership. So we create this approach. It's a P2P2P approach. Focus on what you create value to your customers, how you can enhance your business with Microsoft through WeTransact, and help you to understand how Azure can push limit of your business. And we find this way to help you grow and to find a good way to sign more deals with Microsoft and WeTransact. That's it. So if you have questions, don't hesitate. We have a lot of customers that we work with Retransact and a lot of reference that we can share with you. And now it's time for Juan to push limit with Retransact.
Thank you, Simon. Okay, let me move. Can you hear me fine?
Yes.
Can you see this? Can you see the slides moving as well?
Yep.
Okay, very good. So thanks for being here today, everybody. My name is Juan José Castiblanques. I am the Chief Revenue Officer at Retransact. Very happy to see here today many brilliant minds that teach in their communities and also lead by example. So thank you to Darren, to Jared, to Yuval, to Simone, and a special thanks to Alaric. So Cloud Marketplace not only means direct selling, but also means an opportunity to build reseller channels programmatically and exponentially. And this is what my part will be all about. So today we will talk about ecosystem discovery, some tips to craft a compelling offer that brings appetite to resell, and some ideas on how to drive execution efficiently. Starting with the first part, and before going to the agenda, actually, in the session today, there is one takeaway I want all to remember, and is that the Microsoft Marketplace is all about partnerships. And this is the key message I'd like everybody to take home today. From the three ways of selling through the marketplace, partner to partner is the biggest competitive advantage Microsoft has over AWS and Google Cloud Marketplace in the marketplace landscape. And the real benefits of partner to partner on the Microsoft Marketplace is the access to a vast network of minutes, the fact that you can save on customer acquisition cost, connect with all segments leveraging existing trust customer already have with their technology provider or solution resellers, and all of that while reducing the risk as you operate under the Microsoft umbrella, getting the money collected by Microsoft, comply with the local regulations, and also forgetting about exchange rates when you are operating globally with your resellers. We hear a lot these days about CSP, 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 or P2P, P2P, P2P. Cloud solution providers, also known as CSPs, are Microsoft resellers. There are 90,000. The same way they resell Microsoft products, they can also resell your product since you are listed on the Microsoft Marketplace. Partnering with CSPs is commonly called as P2P or partner to partner. And it's an engine that sounds like new to the marketplace, but relevant for scale. Now we understand what the CSP is, or what CSP are, the resellers we can work with on the Microsoft Marketplace. We have to understand how they operate. So you have a direct channel of resellers selling direct to customers like To Be Cloud in this section here. You will have also an indirect channel with a distributor, an indirect provider like Pax8, and an indirect reseller like Esquadra below, serving to the customers. The landscape is very wide, but can be narrowed in 4 types: value-added resellers, system integrators, managed service providers, and indirect providers, also known as distributors. Value-added resellers resell products with additional services. System integrators are consulting firms. Typically, they work more project-based. Managed service provider offer managed services, typically charging on a subscription-based model. And this is here is where To Be Cloud and Esquadra are. Solution aggregators, also known as distributors, operate at a scale and introduce you to their community of resellers. This is where you find Pax8. And as you can see, the margins are going to change depending on the approach and also the incentivization model they have. To give you an example how each of them operate, here is the slide. So if I'm an end customer and is looking to modernize my application, in this case, I'm looking to modernize my application, an SI will say something like, I have 5 years expertise in application modernization that can manage this project in your team. An MSP will say, we can provide a recommendation and optimize the right architecture for your application. A value-added reseller, I can provide you the best price for an Azure virtual machine for your application. And a solution aggregator or distributor or indirect provider will say you can contact my top 5 partners that have expertise and can help you manage this project effectively. But unfortunately, software creators are often unsuccessful. ISVs like us are unsuccessful when doing partnerships with resellers, and they question themselves, why is that? Well, the main reason that we see, and the main common mistake, will be like the market they choose is not ready, or didn't actually check which type of customers the partner reseller is selling to. There is a lack of profitability. Your offer is too little, which brings zero value to the partner reseller or the sales force. And there is a lack of commitment. Nobody is following up either on your side or on the side of the reseller, or you didn't incentivize enough to get their attention. And it should be because also the lack of tools to do it efficiently. At WeTransact, we are very much about velocity, and our approach is about building reseller networks seamlessly. For that, we bring all the partners in one single view in our platform, and we help our customers to match with the right reseller. And if we are missing one of the partners you're looking for, we go with you and we recruit them for you and our community. Now, you know who you want to resell your solution based on the partner type and the incentive model. Now, what you need to do is to focus on crafting a good reseller offer. Target introductions via email with a compelling value selling communication, or go through our WeTransact existing connections. And then focus more on the champs and onboard them on a rhythm of the business that brings mutual value. Crafting a compelling offer, this is an example of how we do it. And this is an example also using the WeTransact reseller model that we have for our resellers. The 3 pillars of a compelling offer are the margin, the back margin, and the services plus partner revenue allocation. So the margin is a direct way of compensating CSP resellers. Now everybody knows what the CSP is. Huh? So the back margin is a way to reward your reseller retrospectively if a quota is reached. An example of the two will be a direct margin that WeTransact gives when our reseller and partner brings a lead that we still need to participate on the sales operation. We give 20% recurrent margin. And if the company or like the partner and reseller brings a qualified deal that doesn't need my sales participation, then it becomes a 30% margin. The back margin will be, for example, if you reach 100 customers in a year, or you reach maybe 10 customers per quarter. A way to also incentivize retrospectively and provide another incentive. The service refers to any extra compensation they can get from delivering services you used to do. For example, can they onboard the customer instead of you? Can they be your customer success team? Can they offer a partner support frontline so you don't offer that and you provide an extra margin to them to do that? Assuming the relationship has been built, your compelling offer has been accepted, and the margins have been established, you move into driving execution. Offer a workshop to set common goals. It's important. Share your marketing collaterals and make them easy to digest. They are used to seeing a lot of this. Train their workforce if needed, both platform and sales-wise. Always make it simpler and easier. We are fan here at WeTransact of a crawl and walk approach. And as much as you can, focus on getting the first quick wins for them. If you invest in your partnership and you invest in your partner reseller and you care about their business, they will care about you. You need to care first about their business. Okay, so now you have identified your ideal partner. You craft your offer. You draw your first action plan and everything with or without WeTransact support. But how does executing your reseller network seamlessly actually looks like in practice? Our customers use Reveal or partner opportunity matching platform that everybody gets included with WeTransact. So you are able to invite your partner to execute on the partnership you just signed. For example, here you see WeTransact, and I see To Be Cloud. My reseller who has 12 companies that are my prospects. I profiled companies 1, 2, 6, and 10, because they are actually like quite a long years with them, and there is a relationship of trust. And I see also they are good candidates to WeTransact. Then I called Yuval from 2B Cloud and said, hey, I see 4 customers you have who could buy my solution now. What about giving you 20% of the deal if you introduce them to me and I close the deal? Or what about 30% if you go by yourself? And if we make it recurring year over year after we close this amount? Did I talk about my product? Did I went into a training with them? I talk about business first. Product learning will follow after you are showing also the business and the revenue they can generate out of this. Saying this, remember, Microsoft Marketplace is all about partnerships. And we recommend you that you get them started today. And until here, my presentation. Thank you.
Juan, thank you very much. Yeah, thanks very much, Juan, for that session. Just diving into the Q&A, it's fairly quiet. We've had one question on the chat, which has been answered already, I believe. Probably worth us giving the audience a couple of minutes to ask any further questions. Juan, just whilst we wait for questions to come in, just in terms of getting in contact with you, just the email on screen, that correct?
Yes.
Perfect.
I'm seeing here, we have one question from Dennis Mulder, where it says, very curious, how many engagements 2B Cloud Squadra got through the marketplace? So you want me to disclose like how many deals they close of WeTransact? This could be something we could maybe discuss together with them, I believe under NDA. But
yes.
I'm not, yes.
Yes,
not sure
I
if
can
understood
take
your question.
I'm not sure to well understand the question. I'm not sure to well understand the question because we each week we sign 2 new customers with WeTransact, and we have 2 new ASV to grow through the marketplace, to Azure Marketplace from my side in France. So to me, it's pretty clear, and we develop a lot of partnership like Juan just introduced to you, because it's about partnership, not just about selling, it's to create value. And so said to me, it's 1 or 2 signature formal customer, new customer, and WeTransact by week.
Thank you, Simon. I also see one question from Adam. How long does it typically take to start seeing sales? And the answer that I will give you here is depends of the size of the reseller. If you are working more tactically on a geo, for example, France, or you are operating more on a global scale, depending also of the partnership you sign. If you are signing more a global partnership, sometimes it can take a little bit more. And if you are like working more tactically with an MSP that is already like on the good market that is quite developed, then it can be like 1 to 2 months, depending as well of your solution. It's difficult to tell as well how easy your solution is able to sell and who is your ICP, ideal customer persona. And also the maturity of the market is important. And I think like this was a message that Satya said once, right? Like the market responds to it. If like the market is ready to accept your product, or is it still early stages? Hope it answers your question.
No other questions, I believe, Juan.
No, wait, there is another one.
So I think we can probably happy to wrap up. As I said, to get in contact with WeTransact, please email on the screen. For everyone else on the call, and please do use LinkedIn to get in contact. And I believe there are some contacts on their slides as well. But just a massive thank you to all the speakers today. Thank you to 2B Cloud, to PAX8, to Squadra for joining. Massive thanks to Darren from Microsoft. And then finally, massive thanks to WeTransact for collaborating on this session. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. We'll wrap up the call.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks for attending. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.